leading G2 into trying to force their way through it, but look back at Club when they had the hole coming in towards Strip. G2 just bypassed it entirely. Will they do the same again here on Sky? Let's find out.
Getting very sort of similar half of an operator lineup. Laz, Loira, Doki all playing operators that we saw them bring it on Clubhouse, but big changes. Alamo on the Ursa, that screams Black Stairs take to me. Try and get in there with the shields, use them to create a little bit of space. He's going to be over on Karaoke Window. I was going to say you'll need somebody on Karaoke Window. This is your other option, to be fair, on the Ursa. Get in through that Karaoke Window, get the shields down, and again, look to get a plant maybe towards the window, you know, so that it can be held from rappel afterwards. Although Stompn is going to be going up there, joining him on the rappel in a moment, so it might allow Alamo to switch over. Keep a close eye on exactly where that Ursa goes.
Yeah, so surely off towards the top side. I mean, on the rappel, as you mentioned, I'd expect to see him move towards pushing up through Black Stairs, or maybe coming in through the balcony. Either or, that's the standard though. And again, if G2 are going to surprise them, we have to do some slightly unstandard things. For now, it's playing on the window, making use of one of those shields. I'd expect to release in a moment to be able to put some pressure in and down. Loira is really trying his best here, almost loses his life in the process. Doki to start with the first kill of the match, and that's looking his way through in towards this window. Down on the rappel for now. G2 not really seeing a massive need to step inside the map itself, just putting a lot of pressure down externally.
Yeah, they've managed to clear out Geisha, I think. Deadshot has had to move away now on the mirror. The pressure was mounting both from underneath and laterally as well. You can see the distance that he is away there. He has been forced back as we see the scan come in. So that's going to give a little bit of freedom to G2 here. They've got Alamo with that shield out ready. If he gets inside of this window, there's nobody in Geisha to stop him putting that diffuser down. Loira is underneath to prevent any sort of vertical play, any nitros from beneath. Deadshot can't go under there and try that. So right now, Gen G have got a little bit of a problem.
Once you say that, it's starting to grow into a bit of a halt here, and Loira knows that he's under pressure. Oh, gets a little tap there, I thought, disguise for a second, but not enough to secure a kill. Blaz James comes up big Tim. It's a double kill off the back of it, and that surely sets his team up for a win. Stomping into one more, and it's going to be a flawless round to kick things off. Great first attack coming out from G2.
Yeah, looked really confident there. They just had control over
play out. Got that mirror window coming down on towards the goal wall too. Gives you a lot of control over that west side. So again, the question for G2 is, do we play into the extension? Do we try and be aggressive and try and clear the full map? Or do we only focus on what we need? And so far, the answer looks to be focus on what we need. Every single player gathering up around sites itself and saying, forget about your extended hold. We just don't care.
Terror drone is going to remove both the barricade and the barbed wire. Deadshot will remove Stompn. That's going to be the Ash gone, not the end of the world in terms of utility for G2, but we saw the sheer firepower that Stompn was able to bring through Clubhouse. Deadshot doubling down. Nitro kill finds one. Skies onto Alamo, and this attack is quickly falling apart for G2, but we need to remember, it is a defensive-sided map. If G2 can come away with a 2-4 or a 3-3, they will be pretty happy with that. They definitely want a bit of this. 5v1, they know that they can get away with it. Doki picks up one, but Asa on the jump out will close it out. Great forward being, you know, absolutely unbelievable. So, yeah, they're already, you know, on the road towards that. It's a good start for them. Everybody's happy at the minute. And I think this round is going to be telling as to maybe who's the happier after we come away from this one, especially if G2 can get the win on Karaoke T again. They haven't got the Ursa this time. Alamo bringing the Ash, so we're going to see a considerably different approach, I would imagine, from G2.
Interested in stepping towards Barbecue Kitchen. It's normally that three-site rotation you come to see, but dare I say it's a rare step back to the way it was before, where teams would replay sites they found themselves feeling slightly uncomfortable, feeling more comfortable on, rather than going towards the off-site, who was a little more comfortable for them. First call coming through, and they try and step on forward and try and make something happen here, G2. In fact, it's Alamar stepping up. It's always the Ash players on this team. There's always one of them playing Ash, and there's always one trying to go hyper-aggressive. So far, at least, it starts to work out, but Tim elsewhere, his team has fallen down like a house of cards. It's a 2 versus 4 already. And bearing in mind, we're only 60 seconds in.
And one of those 4 is a clash as well. Certainly not going to help, because it gives Neko the freedom now to just play heavily behind that shield. The Ash charge, of course, could deal with that, but otherwise, it's just going to make it very, very difficult for these attackers to push forward and be able to clear it. You can see now Naquo exactly that. He's just looking to get a little bit aggressive, get in their faces. Loira manages to pick up one, but Deadshot with the support of Naquo manages to find Alamo and be coming on the Monty. So they will have seen those operators. They've kind of almost lent into Gen G's lineup, I feel there. You know, that's a real anti-shield operator lineup. You're bringing all those traps, you're trying to slow G2 down, prevent them getting into the building, prevent the shield being comfortable, and you know, that's exactly what G2 have gone for. So I'm not sure what the plan is on attack for G2 here. You know, early on I would favour the lineup of Gen G at least here, but we will see how it plays out and maybe what G2 have got planned.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Legion being brought along in round 15 in Clubhouse as well when Alamau turned to the Monty to be their way through, almost like they'd read into what G2 were going to do. It was a good response. A similar thing here. Yes, it helps deal with the shields, but will it? Is it really going to impede them that much? I don't think G2 are going to let it, at least not compared to how maybe a cap can impeded them so many times back on that previous map. Either way, let's see how things keep on moving forward from here. Again, very peaceful start. Well, peaceful start. Slow and peaceful start coming out from G2. Not getting themselves involved in too many gunfights. Not getting involved in the map itself. Everything is about holding angles on windows and letting the utility do a lot of the work for them that needs to be done. Making sure things are opened up. Most importantly, giving an angle for the Monty to be able to step in towards site itself. This time around, he's on that shrine balcony looking to move his way forward rather than trying to play on the site window itself. But once the move comes through along with the Aura, they're probably in quite a good spot to make some magic happen.
Loira just closes off that double door inside of Restaurant, can now just sort of stand and watch through sight. This is a real big problem for the defenders. He knows that there's one up above, so he can't challenge there, but it does prevent much movement coming back into sight. Doki manages to clear out skies above as well, so that's the Malusi gone and leaves us now in a 5v4. And with Loira there, how do the defenders really relocate themselves? They can start getting aggressive. We're going to see that Raura gate is going to be moved out to give at least a little bit of freedom from Naquo to be able to challenge 4 versus 4 as Deadshot manages to find an answer, actually taking down the Raura. So that levels things up. 1 minute left to go.
Yeah, I can see what Laura's going for here as well, but I think the large problem is we haven't got Alamau who's got the diffuser anywhere nearby. So they're not in a spot to be able to start making a play off the back of these things being locked down. It's been a very slow round for Alamau. Largest been in the same spot for 2 minutes straight, although apparently no idea from Azox there that it even got him behind him, drops the shield, blasts him out into a 3v3. Definitely not looking bad actually for the side of G2. I like what they've still got to work with here. Again, the shield is the big driver for me. The other side, not an awful lot to stop him unless Asa can get a very well-placed C4 to shut down the Monty. Final 30 seconds though, Tim. We've got to get a march on here as G2.
Yeah, time's going to be the big factor. Stompn's working his way around from that rear side, looking to get in behind Bar, but he can't do it as Asa manages to pick up 1, but 2! Just completely closing down this G2 attack. 10 seconds left to go. Monty the only one left on the cards. There's no way that this gets one for G2. Gen G close it out, and they go so now on the defense of Skyscraper. It was a tough opener for them in round 1. The mental resilience in this game has been there consistently throughout. They've shown it again, bouncing back to take 3 in a row, and G2 are at the minute struggling to create a space for themselves in this Skyscraper matchup.
Well, let's see if that tack timeout does anything to wake them up. You damn well hope so, because the same way for Gen G, how they bounce back after that tack timeout, G2 need a little bit of that look to rub off on themselves too. Here's tying things out and have walked straight in towards the trap. Definitely not been their strongest point so far, it's fair to say. More of a bait out from Stompn, I think, to then back away, let it expire, no problem. Can't help but dig back to the number of cap cans they walked into in that first half of the previous map. And it's kind of being the G2 way to want to get places and not really caring about what you run through, even if it means for a player or two potentially losing your life on the way through. Alamau again going to be the big focus for me alongside those phone calls coming out from Loira. If you see all those signs appear above the player cards on Gen G, they all turn red. You know the G2 are trying to make a move on forward off the back of it. At least inside of gold here and dug in with the mirror smashed out as Alamau. They've got to step their way in towards the hallway next and start forcing these players back. They need the control of Terrace, of Dragon, for example, to start making this work.
Doki's just going to be clearing out the keeper barricade with the DMR. Takes a little bit of damage from the Nitro, but dishes a little bit back out. You can see kind of even in the HP departments from The Warden and the Lion challenging each other there. Deadshot's going to take a ton of damage as well. Loira, a little bit of his own. This is a hardcore battle. Stompn manages to get one, make it two on the back of that call, causing a little bit of disruption. 4 versus 3 now. G2 with an advantage as Asa goes down as well.
Absolutely nuts. So it's 3 versus 2. This is winnable. If Asa's recovered here, then a different conversation, I think. But he shouldn't be able to get recovered at this point, Tim. The pressure has started to build up. They've lost the Dokkaebi and they've lost the Lion, but it's what let them get inside of this Dragon area. And Stompn picking up 2 or 3 kills off the back of it is wonderful. Alamau fortunate to not go down here. Nako being tagged out. Blaz on for a 3 in the round. And now we've got players starting to surround. The final 2 that remain. Deadshot getting 1 back, though. And that's the backline removed, Tim. They've lost Shrine control. This is going to start feeling real tense now because G2 have largely got site control, but no support from the other side. That lets Shenji breathe as we've got 30 seconds to play.
Yeah, Deadshot and Nako have made a real choice there to kind of give up the site to try and just break themselves, fight themselves out of trouble, but it's not likely to work out. Alamau has an opportunity to put the diffuser down. He actually comes off it and goes for the fight instead. I'm kind of thinking, get it stuck. He's kind of dithered a little bit there, and it's given Deadshot an opportunity to move back in, but during all that time of waiting to put the diffuser down, Blaz maneuvered himself into it, and then he gets the little symbol of there's a player outside. He's like, whoa, need to have a look at that. Deadshot did not find his man, but it was a cheeky little attempt from Genji. I like to see them trying to keep some pressure on G2, trying to get aggressive. They know that they're on the back foot here. They know that G2 are, positioning themselves for a solid second half to get this done inside of 2 maps. So, the more rounds G2 get, the more risks that Genji need to be taking in order to get those rounds. Dokkaebi Cole will come out, and it's going to allow Stompn just to push forward on the back of it. He is slowed down by the F-Nut. His shots are a little bit wild, uncharacteristic for him as he just misses Deadshot there, who's able to secure the kill, and that is a nice entry. Genji 5 versus 4, but Deadshot will be down. Skies, however, finds Doki elsewhere with that Tachanka LMG.
And they've got a couple more flying through as well here, Tim. Okay, it's a 3 versus 2, technically, even until Deadshot gets recovered. Should be able to pull back towards his team here, and this isn't really a bother. Again, the reminder, though, this is off on the road, Tim. We're not even looking at sight here. Alamau, again, missing a couple of shots on his step on through. Shots towards his right, shots to the left. Shots everywhere at this point. He's got it all to do against 3, and somehow, Tim, something tells me he's not going to be able to get this one over the line.
No, I'd be surprised. 1 versus 3. A minute 17, so he's got plenty of time. That's his one big, bonus factor, but he needs to try and isolate these as 1v1s. We're seeing the Shamika launcher just getting to work now, starting to burn out that ground. And what that does, as well as preventing him from pushing in a certain way, it sends him another way. And that's predictable then, because you know that he can't be going through. Nako's just run off. He's played Mirror 5 times, and Clash isn't rated above that. So, there you go. It's the best I can say is at most 4 times, but I don't think that we've seen it. I'd be surprised if we've seen it at all, so keep an eye on that one.
What I do think it enables, though, and it's more for the comp than it is for like the individual wanting to play it, I think. And by the way, he hasn't played Clash at all this stage, so just looks at the numbers. For me, if nothing else, it's more looking towards the lineup, right? We've got these 3 architects coming along in the Mirror, the Castle, the Azami. They're annoying already. Throwing a Clash shield there, a couple of C4s behind it as well, and looking at what you banned away to make Hard Breach really frustrating to deal with. They're just trying to grind Genji to a halt here. G2 are almost banking on this map being really hard to work through for the attackers, and they're saying, we don't think Genji are the quickest team. We think they'll take too much time to get set up for an execute here. So with the right set of operators, we just win by the clock. And that's what I think you're going to see them playing towards as this round ticks on.
Yeah, and the fact that Doki hasn't played Clash before, what it really screams is that G2 are bringing something a bit different to the table as well. They've predicted that they're going to be playing this map. They know they're going to be going to Skyscraper, and they're ready for it. They've got new ideas. Alamau manages to pick up Skies. That's going to be the opener. That's the air jab down, and we were talking about Doki on the Clash. Well, guess what? Doki on the Clash just got a lot safer because there's not going to be air jabs to try and deal with him. Alamau still playing around these drum stairs, is going to start being pressured as Azox on the shield pushes him from above. There you go, beautiful stuff. Really nice team play. Nako pushes from below. That's going to give access to the cameras for Genji as well, so they've got that bit of extra intel. Looking okay for the attackers so far.
Yeah, I mean, not bad to have rid of the one. The Nomad being down in exchange, fantastic, of course. It gives the ability people like Blaz or Stompn to go a little bit busy later into the round, try and cause a little bit of a headache for you. So that's one thing to respect. I've got themselves a good march on towards site here again. This is where shields really help out. One pin down. That's an easy finish off there coming out for Azox, who's now got his second coming through on the Monty. A one-man army, a man, a machine. I don't know which one he is, Tim, but now he's starting to bet onto the mirror as well. He's got the right idea. Look for the players that are supporting him. What he doesn't know is Azox is the gun. He is the one causing trouble. Stompn getting at least one back into a bit of a 1v1 breaking out here as well. The shield break being taken away and Laura finding his man. Doki and Stompn, one of them being a clash, makes this really hard for Deadshot to recover. He is in sight. It's that flipper position that we've seen a few times throughout the series, but I don't think they let him get away with this one, unfortunately. Tim, try as he might, looking up with a shield in front of his face. He's got to get this one down if he wants to be able to win, but I just don't think they're going to give him the time of day, Tim. Not going to have the chance here, and it's a shot from Stompn up towards top side that get G2 on. Don't worry about it. Come towards site. That's where the main focus should be.
Drones galore being taken out at the minute as of the default cams. It is just the never-ending battle of Intel versus Intel that we see play out at the beginning of rounds. And Genji pretty much all up to the rooftop. We've got a couple on balconies as well. Nobody inside of the map yet, 45 seconds in. And there is certainly no rush from them. But Genji really need to not let this game get in their heads now. They've got G2 on the defense of their map choice of a really strong defensive map on Skyscraper. And as these rounds tick by, if G2 start picking them up as they have done just then, you know, Genji need to be very, very careful that that doesn't kind of play into their mindset a bit and slow them down, you know, make them kind of double check things or try to be extra safe. They just need to play their game to try and get aggressive and to try and win out rounds. It looks like it's going to be a clearance from the exhibition and office side. G2 are set up for that. They're ready. They've got a position in VIP. They've got one player just outside of office, I think it looks like, from the silhouette, kind of just around small bar area. That's going to be where the challengers will come from for Genji.
Let's use the Monty as well to expose the Malusi to give a more open track. If, for example, Aston wanted to be the one jumping in through that window later, but again, the focus really is the one karaoke as the site. We spent half the round just sniffing around how to get in towards the EXO side of things here. So it is a full map player coming on through. The Monty is going to make it quite a bit easier. Laura being pressured now as well. All starting to gather on through. Gets stopped back down as well. Should get... No! Hit by a headshot! Magic! Removes the shield and Laura counting his lucky stars at this point, I'm sure. G2 have held them off here for 2 minutes and got 2 kills off the back of it. Wonderful stuff.
I have never seen that. Not only does Loira get knocked down by the shield to begin with, but is able to react and respond and gets away with absolutely beautiful siege moment we see there. And Genji could be forgiven for just thinking, what have we got to do here? If that is what they are going to be facing. 3 versus 4 it stands. 30 seconds left to go. Not much progress towards sight either. And that is the big problem for Genji. You know, on the not bothered-ometer, I'm bringing it out at G2. Those defenders inside of sight, they ain't bothered, let me tell you. They haven't been pressured at all. 2 kills come in, Alum out and Loira. 7 seconds left to go. Stompn cuts down Deadshot, and that is going to be another round for G2. I said they needed 7 and 8. They've got them. Well, Genji, you've got big problems. I'd expect to see, or wouldn't be surprised to see, a tactical timeout any time now. Final attack. G2 continue on the defense down in kitchen and barbecue. Interesting, a little bit direct pressure there. Come in, just open that side window. It was Deadshot who's done that, but there's also the Monty out on the balcony as well. You're going to have to take Geisha control if you want to be able to play directly in through that window, though. The hatch is actually reinforced, so unless verticals, I'm just looking through G2's positions, nobody's currently in Geisha. So there is an argument here for the attackers being able to play directly on that window, but Loki takes down Deadshot. He was one of them that was in that location. It's not going to help. The blitz of Azox is currently chasing defenders, but can't find anybody just yet.
Surely Azox runs into him here at some point, but maybe not. There's those shields just getting under so much pressure. But surely they get rid of Blaz, they get rid of one, but it's a team kill. No! Loira taking out Azox at the same time, going through his teammate, but despite that, it's G2 coming out on top. Loira hit in a second. It's a 4 versus 1. Naquo, cry some tears into that bathtub, my friend, because this one is not... Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. If we finally see in peak form, Naquo coming out, Tim, this would be the round for it. 2 more to find and half a round to play, diffuser in hand. It's got all he needs to make this happen. Alamal's on half HP. Just got to find out that he doesn't get surprised by one of these final two players here, or the round is done. But there's a chance. Whenever there's a chance, you can't really count him out given the stage that he's had so far.
So you're telling me that there's a chance? Nico sends out the nade. He's just peeking, looking every single corner. He's got very little information to go on. You can see by the way that he's playing. He's got, I think, maybe just heard the player rotating through bottom of drum stairs there. So supposed to have a little bit of a look. But this is going to be a game of cat and mouse for the next 30 seconds or so at least, until Neko gets to a point where he knows he just needs to push on into sight. They've picking him up on vault cams, picking him up everywhere. G2 well aware of where the push is coming from. He's got banshees to play into, so much utility. We see the explosives coming out as well. He's able to actually give himself back the HP that he lost from that nitro, from that damage. But it's not going to matter. As he moves into the crossfire. Just take another two here and go 7-4. Move on to Munich, and Gen G, unfortunately for them, will fall at the final hurdle if that is the case. But look, let's not write them off just yet. They've shown already in that clubhouse matchup, they might not have won the map, but they showed an ability to come back into it. They showed the resolve, the resilience to press G2, to push them to the line and to make them really earn that victory. And we know that they've got the ability to do that here. They just need that player to pop off. They just need that big moment for somebody to get them back into it. Sky's a little bit quiet this game. We saw him with 18 plus kills on Clubhouse. He hasn't been able to find the same sort of form. Deadshot has been a little bit better this time, but they just need 2 or 3 players to be hitting those numbers.
What's funny is you look across that G2 side, and outside of Stompn, like, it's very, very balanced in terms of negative KD for 3 of those 4 players. Alamal's neutral. It's still been quite a close game overall. It's just that G2 have been the ones finding the success come end rounds, whereas Gen G haven't quite been able to capitalize and get things done. Phone call coming on through, though, here inside 60 seconds, which should give a little bit of an avenue for Gen G to get inside. And sure enough, we've already got Azok stepping in, asking some questions. My worry, though, Tim, is, again, this is not the site. The site is the other side of the map. There's a lot of work to do here. This is just trying to deal with those that are on the roam, and self-flashing yourself, that doesn't really help much. But G2 are dug in. They're giving up no ground so far. This is a big ask for Gen G. They're just being slowed down constantly by the G2 side.
Yeah, keep an eye on Doki this one, on the ward, and he's going to be really, really important with that Ying and Blitz. So much flash utility. Looking to come in towards them. He's going to be the one that can really stand up tall and get that little bit aggressive, keep giving that information to his team, keep challenging to hold them at bay should that utility come in. He manages to pick up Deadshot. That's a big start. That's the Grim gone. 5 versus 3 as Blaz, G2 are just running away with this. It's kill after kill. Skies has an answer, a late trade onto Blaz, but it's too little too late. It is now 2 versus 4. Skies half health, one of those a shield. G2 will just hold themselves back, wait for their opportunities, which they do. Stompn takes down the shield, and it's now 1v3 for Skies.
Almost got to hope in here that G2 will get a little bit ego like in the previous round and start swinging out on this one. Not to give them anything for all. Got to find one in the 5th round and one in the 6th to at least send us to overtime. And even that doesn't guarantee that you get the map win, because as much as we were looking at G2 on the last map and the sides that they landed on an OT, I don't think G2 and Big Skyscraper are going to choose to go on attack on this map, Tim. They will most definitely start in defense, and given how things are stacked up so far, don't overly fancy Gen G's chances, assuming we even get there, of course. Let's see how things play out. Big intel denial round coming out from G2 as well. Mute and Mozzie coming along. Still got that cash being brought along to really frustrate the other side. It's going to slow things down even more for Gen G, and for me that has really been the theme, and it's a sign of a team that maybe doesn't play this map a ton, is they have been quite slow. So in the last round, Tim, why not go fast? We're straight in here. Azox is in, looking to cause a bit of bother on the blitz already, putting some pressure through. That is not the best C4, but it will keep them at bay at least for now. Deadshot getting one. It's Stompn falling down. Good start here for Gen G, but now what can they do with it?
Yeah, it's great. This is what I suggested. Maybe just go in and play with a little bit of aggression, play with a little bit of confidence, take the fight to G2, and that's exactly what Gen G has done, and it has paid off so far. That is Lyra and Stompn both off the board, but the Mozzie and the Azami just as importantly. A lot of utility lost there. Those drones can't be repositioned. No more Kiba barricades. The nitro that was wasted. This is a great start for Gen G to get themselves back into this one when they really need to. Going to be holding the angle towards the smoke of Alamau, but he manages to get one, make it G2, a long time ago, he was known as the best sport player in the world when he was back in Brazil, and he's just rolling back the years.
And he didn't even use a smoke canister as well. He had the aggro there to go for the peak and get 2 kills. Wonderful. And now they can keep them at bay a little bit here. In behind the smoke, they're going to have to sort of reset a little bit here. We're down to a 3 versus 3. Still, 2 smokes in the C4 to go behind and a clash. And I tell you what, Tim, speak about hero plays, but give him the K. A 3K in what could be the last round of this game, even to get them to the major. And Alamauer's hit a 3rd. Can he find the 4th? And dare I say, even maybe a 5th?
This is absolutely beautiful stuff from Alamauer. It's taking me right back to kind of, you know, his Team 1 days. Like I say, back in Brazil, he was well known for his smoke plays, and he has certainly brought them back out. 3 kills in the round. Blaz gets the latest as well, and now Geng are going to be killing and kicking themselves. It's a 4K in the round for Alamauer. They had it, Des. It was 5 versus 3. The initial aggression went in there, and they were well on top of it, but they just couldn't get it done. G2, lock in! Get it done! And